just want to test and make sure that the proper microphone is working. Yeah, nice. So, I got a proper mic hooked up. So hopefully I will no longer be literally like covering the mic with my thumb and scraping on the screen and everything. You'll constantly be hearing. I know that was annoying as hell. Ward just bought me an adapter, so now I can plug my nice podcasting mic into my tablet and stream through there. So, yay. Last time we spent 2 hours on the coat. So now, we're going to spend 2 hours on something else. We want to do we want darkest color on top, and then the lightest color on bottom. So, I think probably his pants would be next. And his pants will not be anywhere near as complicated as his coat was. That's for sure. Because they're a little tight. And my weird ass habits are by no means best practices. Oh, no wonder I'm using the wrong brush. Like, you can take advice from me, like, that's not the worst idea, but, might not be the best idea. I just kind of stumbled through all of this, picking up things from different tutorials, art people that I like watching, or just, like, Googling, like, how to do this thing, and then, figuring it out from there. So, if you remember my method, we're going to start with mid-tone shadows. So that means we pick halfway between mid and bottom. And these are the big sweeping shadows, the overall shadows. So the light is coming in from the top. So he's going to have a lot of his leg is going to be in shadow. And I mean, honestly, it should probably be like almost all of this and just a little bit on the bottom here. And this is what I mean by saying like this is going to be a lot simpler. Because his pants are not that complicated. But we do still want to soften the edges. I want it to be a bit bigger than that. Wait, is this just normal blend? No, yeah. This is the blender I downloaded. So because Garahatia has nice round thighs, we want to make sure that we can see that in the shading. But I'm also looking through and seeing that there's some issues here with the I don't even know what to call that, the bottom layer. So we're doing this we're keeping the overall layer order intact. So that means that you see how I've gone over the edge on some of this, like by the edge here. That's to help with the line art not have these little white clippy bits. But I can do that because the other layer is covering it up. So I just gotta make sure that I get all the little white clippy bits, or else it's going to slowly drive me insane. JK, it's going to quickly drive me insane. I don't do anything slowly. See, this is interesting because... Oh no, that must just be the shading layers interacting with the line art, not the base layer. Also, I don't know if you can hear it, but they are doing yard work in our apartment building today. They do it every Wednesday. I forgot that they do this every week. So sorry about that. I was about to say, hopefully it's not too bad, but I can hear it through my headphones, so it's probably not great. Alright, go back to the mid-tone layer. Fill in some of this wackiness. There we go. And then we're gonna want a smaller blender brush for the folds and the wrinkles. Remember to treat the line art like the darkest part of the ring or the shadow. And this should also be soft, but it shouldn't be as soft as his full leggy. And then maybe we want these to be a bit more extreme. So in this one, because his legs are mostly in shadow, the majority of the like detailing is going to be in not the mid-tone shadow but the dark shadows. Hold on, sorry, my nose is running. See, nobody's here yet, so I can't just babble on about movies. I didn't even watch any movies. I watched half of one episode of Creep Show while I was exercising yesterday. That's a fun show. Okay. But the good thing is that since the mid-tone shadows are so broad that we don't have to spend a lot of time on them. Although I do kind of want to put a little shadow in the crease of his pants. Just to imply that it's there. Might need a very small blender. I know most people show up for art streams on the weekend because, you know, they're home. Yeah. I mean, okay, what is a crease in pants? It is a little fold, and I think that actually it should be like the bottom bit should be shaded because it's like folding upward, if that makes sense. Oh god, see, and it's warm today, so I'm not wearing a sweater, so that means that my wrist is going to constantly be pressing buttons that I don't intend to down on the lower right hand side of the screen. That's just what you get when you draw digitally. Yeah, see, it's like the light's coming in from up above and his little crease is casting his shadow, so we'll pull that up a little more, because if I spend 2 hours on the jacket and like 10 minutes on the pants, I'll feel kind of bad about that. And then we want to make sure that we show where his jacket is casting his shadow. And yeah, that should be good. Maybe a little bit right here. And then we're going to want to soften that up. Just a little bit, like where the object is really far away from. The farther away something gets from an object, the softer the shadows are. So things that are higher up will have a softer shadow, and then the shadow will get crisper the closer the object gets to the thing it's casting a shadow on. I don't know where I learned that. I just kind of did. Like, I technically went to art school, but I went there in the film program. I got screenwriting. That's my background. I took a couple art classes when I was there, but they were like the super duper beginner art classes that they make every major take. And literally I would be in that art class and the teacher would be like, yeah, just do whatever you want. Just show me what you drew at the end. And I was like, okay. Because they was literally having them like draw circles over and over again to like show that they understood form, I guess. Anyway, now we're in the darker shadows, which I put on a new layer and I clipped it also to the layer below, so it's still attached. I know I gave a demonstration on how the coloring is going to work, but I want to save that and I like to color all the layers at once to make sure that all the shadow and the highlights and everything are working well together And also, when you're doing this kind of shading, it's good to like work out what the palette is gonna be like on the character before you start coloring different sections to like make sure it's all harmonious. So I would have like the skin color and the hair color and everything like in other blobs next to it to make sure it looks good. But we are not doing that yet. We are down here in the pants. We're in Gratia's pants, everybody. Oh, yeah. So I want to make sure that I color the crease in his, or shade the crease in his pants again. But this time on this side because this is like where no light is hitting because it's the very bottom. But I want to soften up the edge. And then there's some missing in here. I think, nope, it's missing from this layer. So we're gonna have to go back in and get it and then come back and grab the darkness once more. And then we're gonna, whoop, big, bring it down. Maybe even more than that. We're going to treat the line art as the darkest part of the shadow and then bring it around to meet his little pants crease. And we're going to make sure that the blending is also small, about the same size as the hard brush we were using. And yeah, we're going to want to bring the bottom shadow like around the bottom and give it more form. Because paint likes around, you guys. And like, I know that I know the exciting part of seeing somebody draw is usually like the line art and like watching the whole thing come together. It's not really the in the weeds picking away at the little details, which is why I'm trying to be slightly entertaining. But yeah, nobody's chatting. I'm not sure who's here. But that's okay. Is there a way to see who's watching me right now? Because I'm really... Oh, I just pulled it up. Hello. Alice, Cedra, and Drapstat, and Lisa Bay? Or it just says in the community. No, wait. Are they even here? I don't know. I don't know how this works. I have a very special knowledge base, and that knowledge base is how to shade pants and jackets. I don't know how to work technology. I promise I'm not actually a boomer. I just, one possesses me sometimes when I have to use anything I'm not incredibly familiar with. And mostly I just cry about it, try to get Word to do it for me. I think a little more in here. The thing is, like, I don't have a tried and true process. I just kind of eyeball everything. Like, there's no real mathematical formula to know exactly how much shadow is supposed to go where. You just kind of do it, you pull back and you look at it and you go, okay. Seems okay. I want to make sure that it's dark in here, but the thing with blenders, you gotta be careful because you will blend the shadow. Like if I accidentally pull up from down here, you see how it takes the shadow out of there and it makes it lighter? We don't want that, so you have to be careful to make sure that you're only blending where there is shadow to be picked up and you're not pulling in nothing. Nothing is the enemy. Unless you're trying to do something light or bringing in light, then it's fine. These paints, this looks a little too sharp. Maybe if because I feel like there would be something like that, and then maybe soften towards the pleat to make it like it folds up. And then soften this out even more. I'm just making a blurry mess. See, art is 90% trial and error. I never know what I'm doing. I think I should actually just do that the opposite way. And you can hear me. It's 2 finger taps to undo, so you will hear tappity tap tap a lot. Because I cannot not undo. I don't know how people draw with traditional media. Like, not being able to be like, oh, fuck, and go back. Don't make no sense to me. I say as I mash the undo. Okay, soften this even more. Maybe you get bigger on the blender. Or add in a little more shadow to be blended. Look, I promised I was not going to get as obsessive with the pants as I was with the jacket, but that's not happening. Someone help. I have some iced coffee. Oh my gosh, my tags are all wrong. So what happens when I try to stream from my tablet? Correct. No. Yeah. Wow. No, yeah, he does have a tag. Nice. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. That should have fixed some of that. Because I don't want people coming in here expecting The Sims and being like, oh, those pants! That's a really, really old reference to a World of Warcraft video meme. I'm gonna take off that. I feel like I forgot that his leg would also be casting a shadow over this leggy. And soften it a little bit. And then we'll bring the dark shadows back in. Grab them from down here. Put in just a little bit more. I think more than that. Something is bothering me about this line art. Is it you guys? I think. Okay, yeah, it's the underlayer. No? Is it the is it the jacket? The jacket. Should be the same mid-tone color as oh my god. She lies. What the fuck? What is this? Hi, I would just like to fill these in. Is it just that, like, the darkness is not in there? There we go. That's the level of minutia that I get obsessed with. Alright, what were we doing? We're doing mega dark shadows. What is this? It's like, I promised to be normal, and then I immediately... I don't even know if anybody, like, can tell what I am concerned about. It's these little white gaps in the line art that I just cannot abide. Grab darkness. No? What the? Is it the coat? It's the coat, isn't it? Son of a bitch! Oh, that's way too big. Alright. Fixing these little things as you find them, I find is the best way. Hi! Hey, Star. Nice to see you. I'm just out here rambling about my process to myself. We're on the pants now. I should probably... Oh, wait. I must have saved recently. Just on reflex. Okay. So we're going into highlights. So we go middle, and then we go between middle and top. And we add a new layer. And make sure that it's clipping. And make sure we have the right pen selected. And then we find the brightest part. And also, since we had the crease like cast a little shadow, we'll put a little highlight on top. And we'll just join these. And then for highlights, you're gonna want beak blend. Generally. Yeah, that looks okay. We'll put in like a little on the top of this. I'll just do a little thing, she says, before undoing and redoing it 30 times. Oh no, it should go the other way. It's a highlight, not a shadow. So, the top should be what is bright. Too big. No, now I hate it. Why do I do anything? Alright, we're gonna make it a little smaller, but still pretty big. Alright, we also want to make sure that the highlight is not bleeding over the edge of this line, so we're gonna go in with a hard brush to clean it up. I think that's pretty good. And then we're just gonna want you could do a new layer from here, or you can do it from down here. I keep forgetting I can do this. And then clip it, and also save because you're paranoid. And then go up to like the really bright. You don't want to push it all the way to the top, because unless you're doing like a really shiny object, things are not going to display they're not going to reflect the entire color of the bright thing. So you just want to do just a little bit, just a little bitty bit, and then you want to soften it just a touch. Alright, those are his pants done. And I'm gonna think probably next is the shoes. I'm trying to think. I think, well, it kind of doesn't matter whether I do the shoes or the tie first, because they are not next to each other, so they're not going to interact with each other. So, I guess we'll do the tie because it's going to be fast. New raster layer. And then we go mid-tone. Because it's a smaller tie. And we are not worrying about the pattern on the tie. We are going to add that after it's colored using either a multiply or an overlay layer, depending on what looks better. So, new layer, clip it. halfway between. And then the light is coming in from behind, so actually it would be more like that. These would both definitely be dark, and the light would be coming in from the top. The shadow would be more pronounced on this side. So I'm just blocking this in before I go through and start smoothing things, because this is a very small object. Okay, so we want to keep the shadows crisp right next to it, but then soften them out a little towards the edge. Thinking maybe another one like in there, but not too big. Alright, and then these bits are pretty much going to be entirely in shadow because they're like under the collar. Also, I think this needs some up the side, but of course there's some line art shenanigans. I don't know what to call this, like these little white bits. Is it clipping? Is it aliasing? I don't know, but they bother me and I don't like them. I'll soften just a little bit right there. And you don't think I don't see you? Too sharp. Alright. I get in, like, it's a good habit to be in to obsessively save. I don't know, it's like I will start to feel like uneasy if I haven't saved in a while, and then I won't know why I'm feeling uneasy, and then I'll be like, oh shoot. Just like how you're not gonna want to go all the way to the top with the whites, you're not gonna want to go all the way to the bottom with the blacks. This is like still, it shouldn't, I don't know, it shouldn't be that absolute. Make this a little bit eager, because the blacks are not really in like any folds. They're just kind of in the like bits that are not interacting with any light, that are like folded down. But also, of course, we've got some line art shenanigans that I have to get upset about because I'm me. I think the jacket might be interfering with it. Yep. Son of a bitch. Okay. And if you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? I'm sorry. That's how my brain works. Save again. And then we're going to want a new layer, clip it to the bottom. And then we're going to do some highlights. Like that's probably nice and puffy round. Bring that through. Like if I'm trying to do something really fast and dirty, I won't even bother with highlights sometimes, but they do add more depth to the object. And they add more, I don't know, interest to the final render. More of the lights and dark colors mixing together. Okay. So, that is the cravat. So now I think we're gonna go do the shoes. Well, the shoes could be multiple colors, but I'm just gonna do them all in one. Honestly, it might be easier on me to do them in like 2 different base layers, but fuck it, we ball. These are also going to be relatively dark because they're at the bottom of the figure. They're being blocked by a lot of objects. Or the light is being blocked from a lot of stuff, like his coat and his legs and the chair, which I honestly have not been considering the chair enough in my shading, because I have a really bad habit of not drawing any background elements at all, just having characters floating in space. So I'm not used to considering background elements. A tiny bit of a problem, but you know, it is what it is. Oh god. I'm choking on my own spit. Ugh. Ugh. I'm good at being alive. Alright, clip to the layer below. Halfway between. And so it's pretty much going to be like it's a little bottom of a split. See, more line art shenanigans. Why are you like this? Trying to head off others' paths that I think are going to be an issue. Nope. There's more. You. No? Are you this player? Yeah. Cool. Alright. So, well, okay, let's consider the light source. It's like this much of his split is probably going to just completely be in shadows, so I gotta start with the midtones. And of course, we've got more line art shenanigans to deal with. And then, but this foot, the toe is kind of sticking out a little bit, so it wouldn't be too darkly shaded. But then this would be like in front of it. Remember, this is just the mid-tone shadows, so we're going to want to soften up the round edges. And where the shadow is far away from the object that is casting the shadow. See, I'm educational and shit. Alright, his other foot is like hooked into his heel, because Karaha, like all bisexuals, cannot sit normally. So I think light coming down from the top. Yeah, or maybe it would be more, it would still come down more like that. Shadows warp shapes when they go around other objects. And my line art is pissing me off again. You! Alright. And if you remember, the farther shadow is from the object casting it, the more it will blur. The softer it will get. And now we want to consider the shadows of this shoe, which honestly you should probably just be the whole back of this. So, you know, that was useful, pointful, definitely something you gotta figure it out as you go, you know, like sometimes you'll spend a long time like figuring out exactly how the shadows work on something and then be like, oh wait, this is midtone shadows and those shadows are inside of other shadows, so fuck. That's just how it be sometimes. And more line art issues. I hope you could tell what I'm fixing here and you don't just think I'm insane. But you know, I am insane, but not because of that. I have a reason. my problems. I just realized that this is like a ridge, so there should be some shadow form given to it. Did I forget? I forgot to do the stitching on his other toe cap. What do you call these? Where your toes go? I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back, fix that. Okay, so I'm gonna switch to my line art pencil, or my line art pen, bring it down to black, also save because I'm feeling obsessive, and use this tool. I don't know what it's called. It's a little cube with an arrow in it, and it will select whatever you click on. So use that to easily select the layer that you want to get to, and then draw in the shit you forgot to do. Okay, and then you can use the same tool to just pop right back to the layer you were working on before by clicking on it. And then save again. So we want it to seem like this ridge is raised slightly, and also the light is like up and far away, so really honestly almost this entire shoe should be in shadow, but whatever, I'm gonna cheat it a little because I like the form being really visible. Okay, so new layer, clip it halfway between. So this is gonna be like this part. No, more nonsense. More nonsense. It's the base layer acting up again. Whoop. Huh? Oh, grab the blend brush. Great. Good job. Good job. Alright. Grab that. Get back to the super dark layer. Make sure that this shadow would be wrapping around the back of the shoe, and it would be blurred more towards where it's wrapping around and less towards the front. And then in here there would be some extra dark shadow and more fucking line art nonsense. Oh, I gotta keep going too far. You've gone too far. Alright. And up in here there will be quite a bit of super dark shadow because this is like the darkest spot I think on the character. He's straight farthest from the light. And I think we need some on here to just give it a little bit of form. Okay, well, I feel like the bottom of his shoe would not be completely dark like this, now that I look at it. So let's cut some out. Although I don't want it to seem like bulbous, so maybe like that. Yeah. we want this part to seem flat. It's fine. It's fine. Leave it. It's fine. Alright. Highlight time. Start in the middle, go halfway. Shoes. Oh my god. Date myself instantly. Do you remember the old Mimi's children? Oh, what did I do? My wrist. Touch the opacity slider. So for highlights, you don't really want to just blur it all. You kind of want to try to follow the form of the item that you're highlighting. Super bright shine. I mean, I was thinking they were like patent leather, not shiny leather. But I'll put a little bit on the sole right here. Need a break in a minute. I've had too much coffee. Okay, shoes are done. Nope, don't close. Jesus. Save. Oh, okay, I'm taking a, like, I don't know, 2-minute break real quick. I just got a wee-wee. I'll be alright. Oh god, I don't know how to broadcasting. I just don't want to be heard. Can I mute you? Mute. I'll be right back. Is it going? My tablet fell asleep and so it stopped the stream. I'm trying to make sure I'm not too loud. Is that... I'll leave it there. Hopefully it's okay. I'm going to err on the side of too quiet rather than too loud because I don't want to blow anybody's speakers out. You know what? Now that I'm looking at his pants, I think it needs more darkness. Oh, God help me. But the good thing about doing this all in grayscale and digitally and, you know, different layers and all this, you can go back and be like, oh, it should be different, and it's not hard to do. Oh, nope, I didn't want eraser, I wanted blender. Yeah, we gotta make sure that his booty is smooth. Girl, hot thighs save lives. Even in pants. Good, thanks. I can like listen to it myself on my headphones, but it's always hard to tell. I don't like this weird, unnatural little blip right here in the middle, so I'm gonna try to soften that up even more by going to that layer. Oh, that's right. No, wait, no, that is the right layer. If we grab from down here where it isn't blended at all, and we put that back on. And yeah, I want more darkness. I want this to be smoother. Maybe not 50, but there we go. That's a bit better. Still looks a little light, like on the underside, which is tripping me out. Maybe if we make sure like that, and yeah, that looks better. A little bit at least. So weird. Yeah, I think it's just my brain playing tricks on me. Stop obsessing with Grahatia's booty. Never. Okay, so I think, well, maybe we should do the book. I still haven't decided what color it's gonna be, but it's probably gonna be darker than his skin color. The little facets and stuff. Well, the pages are gonna be like cream, almost white, but the book cover will be its own thing, and like the little, I don't know, you fancy corners, metal things, I'm just going to use an overlay layer to color them differently than the rest of the cover and not put them on their own layer, which seems like a bit much. This is already turning into a 6-hour graph. 6 hours is actually, it's not that bad. I just went really overboard with the coat because I was excited to show everybody how to do this coloring method, which I do think is a very fun coloring method, and it's very cool for non-cell shading, and it's very good for like doing really realistic stuff. But you know, my shit's still anime, man. So halfway between. A book is a very flat shape, so it would be pretty much just like that, and like the whole back of it is pretty much going to be in darkness. And we're going to want to soften this, but keep the softening relatively straight, so not a curved softening, if that makes any sense. We missed a little bit down here and in there. Blend those out. the spine would be curved, so gotta curve that shit, man. I don't know. Okay. And next one down. The underdog. The uber dog. This one we're gonna want to put in some shadow from his hands, because his fingers would be blocking out any remaining light. Remember, the further it is from the object, the more blurry it is. But also, there is some bullshit happening with the line art. I gotta do the obsessive thing that I do every time. Down here. And up here. Any more? Anybody else want to test me? Okay. And, there wouldn't be much highlight going on in this. But we're gonna do some on, like, the golden bit. Or, especially on, like, the top, like, here. And a little bit like that. And, because this is actually a shiny thing, we will go fully to the top on the white to put in just a little bit of a shine. Littler than that. Put it along the top and then give it a little beep beep. You know, scientific term, a beep beep. Okay, book's done. I guess burger's next, although burger's gonna have to be a bunch of different layers. Ugh, what a pain. Okay. So, for the burger, this is going to be a lot of layers, man. We're going to need, I guess the darkest would be the patty. The patty. Test my burger anatomy. And I think I'm just gonna do like one layer of shadow on these, because this is a very small object and I do not want to completely bork my tablet. But of course, being a small object does not mean it's not going to fuck up the line art, so now I gotta get in here all delicate like. So this is why you start with the darkest first, because you're gonna have to fill in a little bit under the line art, and you want it to be on top. So, new layer. Back to mid. Ketchup, I guess? Got some. And I realized I forgot to do the shadow of this ketchup drop to show that it is midair. But I will add that at a later time. New layer. Clip it. Halfway in between. We are going to have to put some shine on the ketchup, though. Or else how will they know? How will they know it's ketchup? Line art, why? Okay. Enjoy my coffee. differences. Oh yeah, I was gonna put shine on it. We're just gonna go for extremely bright, like beep beep. You know, the technical term, the beep beep. And I might want to come in and like soften one edge of the shininess. Okay. It's on the cheese, I guess. Like, I could just do this all as one shape and then come back and change the colors through, like, overlay, but it's kind of a pain. It is kind of a pain that I'm gonna have to, like, choose a cheese color in the palette and everything. That is a little weird, I'm not gonna lie. But, whatever. I'm committed. His fingers are casting a shadow. So is the lettuce. And of course, my line art problems return. There we go. Alright. Let us do the next part. Okay, no, I didn't. Honestly, I almost feel like this should be like a subfolder for all of my burger topping shenanigans. It's high definition lettuce. Alright, it's got leaves and shit. What am I doing? Too much. A lot. I mean, it kind of looks like pickles now, but whatever. Whatever. We're moving on. The last burger ingredient, the bun. Should the bun go all the way that far down? No, but I don't care. Fight me. And no, I'm not doing another layer for the goddamn sesame seeds. Okay. I think the bun is gonna need, like, all the shading layers. Or at least, like, midtones and highlights, because it's a big round shape. Round. And of course, more bullshit is happening with this. You think you got it, but you don't. Okay. And I'm literally going to put in extra dark layer just for like this little bit. God damn it. Wait, where did I put it? What? Did I guess I added 2 extra layers? I'm losing it. Just this little bit. There we go. And then like some in here and there for his fingies. where he firmly grasps it. A little bit around right there. And then on the top, we're going to need a nice round burger. Yes, the tastiest of burgers. And then I'm gonna just basically, I don't want it to be all the way white like that much. I'm just gonna, oh my god, too big. The beep beep method that I patented and am famous for. No, the burger's not gonna have a fucking highlight on it, okay? No, it's not shiny. This is not that greasy of a burger, alright? Alright, good. Okay, Jesus Christ. It's cheese, it's fine. I need an adult to, like, be like, leave it. I feel like it should have a little, you know, a little shine. There we go. Yes.
I can only read katakana and hiragana, and I can see shiapu, which I'm assuming means shape. Kanji I cannot read. And then no boru. Boshi? No boshi. No boshi. I don't know what that means. It's a shape of something. But basically, this one is nice because it's very. How do I put this? It's like. It's very directional. Whereas the other one is very. Like, just blends it all out in a big blur. This one is much more like pulls it in a direction. Yeah, actually, that's a pretty decent explanation. So, see, my wrist is hitting buttons again. So generally what I do is like go through, do the top and the bottom, maybe clear out a little bit, and then you can just kind of sweep back and forth, and it will have the appearance of hair. That's some hacks for you. Works better on bigger pieces. But basically, I don't know, you ask 100 digital artists how they color hair and you will get 100 different answers, man. There are so many ways. I want to make sure that we are getting the nice red color of the hair to come through. So I'm sweeping back from the highlights rather than sweeping the shadow out, if that makes any sense. I try my best. What am I doing? My best. And so now I'm unhappy with this, so we're just gonna, yeah. I feel like his face and his hair are very important because they're probably what people are gonna look at first or spend the most time looking at in a picture like this. Because he is a handsome boy and we love him. So, drag the highlight back. Now like clear it out a little more for some more definition. Pull the highlights out. It's like you can't really see what I'm doing with my pencil, so I'm like pointing at shit and stuff. You can't tell, but yeah. Also, of course, we're having more line art issues. So I gotta go through and fix these. Maybe you can tell what I'm doing, maybe you can't. I swear it's not all nonsense. I gave him a little ahoge that is different from an ahegao. Don't Google that. For some reason, my Twitch channel is not loading on my browser. I hope I'm still going. It says I'm still going on my tablet. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, hopefully I'm not just talking to nobody, but
It says that I'm streaming, but it won't load the stream, so hopefully you can load the stream. Yes, as we all know, the hair is the most exciting part. So this is Grahan in his younger days. So he's got a simpler hairstyle. And that is only a small part of the reason why I chose to draw him younger. Dang it. Oh, now my wrist is cracking. That's worrying. I'm gonna close that window and then open a new one and then go to itch. You still being weird? It's still being weird. This bothers me. I am bothered. I hope that it's working because I've given so much good art advice this time around, and like I mean, I've given some, and I would like for this to be able to go onto VOD, because I do have some friends who are like, hey, can you give me art tips? I'm like, sure. Alright, 1 second. I'm going to completely close out of a few applications, see if that's fucking with it. I should still be streaming, I'm just not looking at chat for a second. Is it going? Something slightly different happened. What the? What did I do now? Wait, why the fuck? Okay. My wrist hit the wrong layer. Again. I don't usually ask this, but if you're here, can you say something in chat so I know that the stream is still working? I'm worried that it's not. Okay, I'm going to... Wait, is it going? It should be. Okay. Something was... I hope that I wasn't gone that whole time, was I? When did it poop out? I don't know. Ugh, that's unfortunate. I hope people can see what I'm doing now and hear me. God damn it. I wonder how long it was out. Ah! Well, I'm on the hair now. I went through a whole thing about what brush I use and everything. I don't know how far back it pooped. But, I guess I'll go over it again. God dang it. So, for hair, I use a brush I got off of the Clips asset page. It's in katakana kanji and hiragana. I know it says shapeu, which is like shape, and no boshi at the end, which I think means brush. Something brush, so it's the shape of something brush. Uh I I I don't know how to find it again, but it's really nice. It drags color instead of blurring color. So, it's very useful for hair. And the way that I like to do hair is to draw in the shadows and then drag the highlights into the shadows. It just gives it a more hair-like texture in my experience. And we have more line art issues. Down here. Stream has just not gone well today, and I don't know why. Maybe I need to switch up what streaming program I use for my iPad. I just wanted one that could show graphics, but it's not even showing my graphics, so it seems kind of silly. Maybe I should just switch over to the official Twitch one. So, the cool thing about this brush is that it works really well for fur. What you want to do is put in the like basic fur like outline that you want, like the shadows. And then you can kind of just, oh, that's way too big. Use a small brush and you can kind of just go back and forth like along the curvature of the thing. And you'll end up with this very fluffy looking, I don't know, sure. Like, let me teach you things. I know words. No, I don't. And so it's like, I know that the sun is kind of supposed to be a bit behind him, but it's anime hair, so we're kind of ignoring that. Don't take advice from me, children. Alright, see what you want. Yeah, like that. And you just kind of follow the shape. And it gives a nice fluffy look. We will consider the light source more as we put in some highlights, or maybe not. Well, for this one, yeah, the little top BB. Might want a bigger brush. So for putting in the highlights, you want to drag the highlights out again, which is what we did with the shadow, but this time it is the color that is on there. So you want to put in some nice shiny bits and then grab the ends and just kind of blend them out. But you still want a bit of the sharp edges to give it that hair texture, hair look. So we're going to try and keep these highlights up pretty high because the sun is supposed to be coming from up above and to my right. I think that the highlight really makes the hair pop and make it look more, you know, like hair. So yeah, you just want to follow the shape. And then soften the edges, but leave some crispness in the middle. since it's coming in from the back, you probably have a few highlights over here too. And then for like fur or ears or anything fluffy like this, you're gonna wanna... My wrist is touching things. I have a derpy little drawing glove that covers my pinky and my ring fingers so that I don't touch the tablet, but I'm constantly yanking it farther down my wrist because it doesn't go down far enough to stop me from hitting buttons. So you just want to put in some lines following the shape where the highlight should be, and then just kind of, once again, soften the edges. Maybe do a few sweeps through it. And there we go. Oh, I just realized I forgot to do his tail. Dang it. Well, I mean, that's not so bad. So. Alright, let me see if I can grab the... Oh, I just don't braid either, Jesus. I'm a fan. But I'm also seeing more, line art issues. So we're gonna want to come through here, make sure that the line art is not getting the little white bits. So we're gonna want to grab the dark color. I should save the dark color, and then alright, he's got a little braid. So we're gonna follow the braid. We're gonna do like a little, I don't know how else to describe it. We're gonna do a braid-like shading on his braid. Ah. I don't know if you could hear that, but that is my cat, Butterscotch. She is sitting right over my shoulder at the end of the bed, and she wants my attention. Maybe a little bigger. Okay, and I think like maybe the whole part of this one, and then like that, and then we can, yeah, that's better. Okay, but now that we have the dark color, let's get into his tail, which we're gonna need a much brush for because it is large. So once again, just kind of follow the basic shape and make it, I don't know, fluffy. Do the fluffy lines. How would one describe this? Like that, and then the lines along which the fluff would run. And get a fairly big brush, fairly big blender, and just kind of go back and forth, follow the curves. Can you tell I draw a lot of cat people? I have tail fluff down to a science. Okay. Go into the
highlight layer. Now we're gonna want to do something fairly similar, where we just kind of, although for this one you kind of just want to smear it because they don't have that many extreme highlights on the tail. Like there's not like super bright individual strands of hair, I guess. Okay. So, I think we're on to the skin, of which there is surprisingly little. So we're gonna wanna, the eyeballs are gonna be their own thing, their own layer. I'm gonna bring this down to like 10. And then it's like, remember this, the grayscale is not about how dark it looks right now, because we're going to be making the skin layer light. Like this intermediate gray color is going to be his skin color. So I know it can look kind of weird when you've got Graha, who's a pale character, and you're giving him dark gray skin, but it's not gonna stay that way. Him and his man hands. Okay, so for a youthful character and anime characters in general, you don't want to put too much shading on the face, even if it's a, they should have a lot of shading on their face, if that makes any sense. So we're going to, well, I do want it to be fairly kind of dramatic because light's coming in from up there, which means that his eyes would be slightly sunken, and of course we are getting the goddamn line art issue again. That is just the life I live. And I'm thinking what I want to do is coming in from that way, so his neck would be like that, and then a little bit of those. I gotta fix these before I lose my goddamn mind. Especially these. That's very noticeable. What about the rest of you? Hair? Are you also gonna give me shit? I bet you are. Alright. Okay. So, we are going to want to give him some roundness of face. Let me get back to my K blender. So, he's going to need some fairly well blended cheeks. So you kind of just want to put in a little bit just to give him that soft round form. Make sure it's blended out really nice, and then make sure that the neck underneath is shaded darkly, and then you're going to want to soften these up too. And softening this is very important. You're going to want darkness right along the crease, and then lighter as it goes up. My blender is too big. Same on the other side. Might even just erase a little bit and then lighten that up. And you want it to go lighter down the side, and then Graha has, like most cat boys, they have a big eye bag situation going on. Let me pull up my reference with him. Images. Like, all cat boys have a lot of eye bag action. So we're going to want to put in like a little bit and then soften the top. And then you might need to come back even with like an even soft eraser. Really lighten that up, because he is also supposed to be useful. But they also have this little like almost like a divot like right here. See, that's too big. I'm gonna have to bring that down. And yes, I am getting very obsessive with the details, but that's because, you know, this is his face. And people are going to be looking at his face. So we just put a little bit in there, bring it around to the line art. We soften that up, and then we get the eraser. Now is the time for me to just silently obsess over details, so I'm sorry. Alright, so you want to keep it light. You don't want it to be too extreme. Like, there are definitely characters where you want darker lines and things around the eyes, especially like Aura have some like that, and here and stuff. But not young little Graha at this point. He is not Zurich yet. So you want to get the roundness of the nose, and you kind of want to make sure that the back of the nostril is represented, and then you want to soften this down. And of course, what's important, but the lips. He's got some nice ones, so I'm gonna try to make it work. He's got, we're gonna have like a, you know, what would you call this? Curl over. And then like that. So he would have a little bright spot on the chin. And then we'd want to make sure that his forehead over here has a little bit of form to it. But we don't want to put in any big lines like in his cheeks or next to his mouth or anything, because he's supposed to be very young in this picture and in general. But we do want to make sure that his nose does have a shadow. And then we can get to the hands. But we're also going to save. Wait, which way is this sun coming? Okay, it's coming from the back, so it's probably like that. And I need bigger brushes because I had to use tiny ones for his face because I am obsessive. So I'm knocking my tablet stand around. So the sun is going to be hitting like the front of the knuckles. So underneath, I'm gonna definitely it'd be like that. It's gonna have to be a little bit not super small. And like that. And then we're gonna want some, because you know he's still got the cat boy heads, and cat boys are nothing if not ready to punch and constantly firmly grasping things. Bring that up like that. So like that. I feel like, yeah, there should be more. Of a obvious shadow because, let me see, sunlight's coming from back that way, so should be like that. I mean, it should still be like that. Pulling in the nothing from underneath. A slight problem. Okay, well, now his wrist looks weird. Or am I going nuts? Yeah, it's the line art. Fuck. This is too far forward. Should be more like that. And I'll bring that around. It's like something's so hard to catch until you're in there giving it form. And the neck there was good darkness. So if I were not doing this technique, I would still be shading kind of similarly, but instead of making it grayscale, I would be like choosing a color to shade in and a color to highlight in for like each layer, which is it can look really nice, especially if you're like, if it's a drawing without a lot of different colored elements in it. But for like a fully clothed character that has a couple of props and some background elements, I think this is probably the better method. It'll help with more uniform colors and uniform shading. Okay, so sun's come down from there, so a lot of his fingers are going to be in shadow. Actually, I think they would mostly be. Of course, line art troubles. It's just gonna become my catchphrase. Do you have problems with your line art? Fuck that shit. On today's episode of Megan Gets Obsessive Over Details, we will be getting obsessive over fingernails. What? What? You meowing at me? Oh, you're such a big baby. Too big. Okay. There should not be too many super dark shadows, especially on the face, but just maybe like in the nostril and like directly under the chin. Why is this so small? I was working on small things. I cannot believe I'm not gonna finish this. I am definitely not gonna finish this. We're going to have Rahatia Part 4. Yeah, sorry, I'm not talking much. I'm just like, fuck. Trying to speed along, scoot a little.
maybe I can at least get done with the grayscale and then we can just do the coloring next time. Okay, and now probably the more important part for skin, at least the highlights. You're definitely gonna want to put one on top of his little nosy. Then, oh, too big. Blur it back. Then another one right there. Blur that back. Oh, too big. That back.
Beaver, what are you doing? Butterscotch, stop it! Hey, hey, hey! Nope, nope. We don't eat plastic in this house.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll be right back. She's into something. Butterscotch. My darling.
My life, please stop. Look, I'm looking right at you. I'm coming towards you. Stop it. You're such a goblin. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Huh? Why? This is not for babies.
Well, she was eating the packaging from an Amazon package. Like you do. So, we definitely want to show that he's got like a round tip on the nose because it's cute and he's cute. So we just want to soften that and kind of look at it. And just like a little bit like that. There we go. We can give a little bit of roundness to the cheeks. But you don't want it to be too much or too extreme, so. Yeah, that might be a bit much. Something is up with the shading right here. This week on Megan obsesses over details that may not even really be there. Oh, she's mad now. She's scratching up her cat tree. She's mad I took the thing she likes. Alright, so you want it to be like the cheekbone, like the top of the cheekbone. I don't know, kind of think of it like highlighter makeup, like highlighter and makeup. Like what parts you want to pop out, what parts you want to shrink back. And then on the eyelids, we're going to put just a little bit of highlight there. And then blend it out in either direction. Now what? Now what? At least she's not bullying me yet. And then you're definitely going to want some highlight on the lip to make it nice and full. And even just like a little bit like
the beep boop method of highlights, with which I have taught you previously. Just continue to hone your beep boop technique. It is just like a lot of scrolling out and getting a better look. And coming back. It's like this little bit right here is what should be sticking out the most. So, trying to get that, but also blend it in and not make it look like it's sticking out just like so much. But it looks like he has a lump on his face. It's tricky. And it's like, I know it's extremely subtle. It can be kind of hard to tell what the fuck I'm doing. But I know, but I have reasons, god damn it, I swear. Okay, so time for some fingy fingernails. I told you I was gonna get obsessive with them. Then also we're gonna want light along the top of the fingers because that's where the light source is coming from. Oh my god, I only have 5 minutes left in my intended stream time. We're definitely not finishing this today. And then, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the super hard shadow. Why did I leave it like that? There we go. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any highlights over there. Okay. Well, we're definitely not finishing the chair and everything. That's definitely not happening. I mean, we could do the shirt. The shirt should be really fast. There's not a lot. And the shirt is, you know, white, so it is extremely... In fact, I think I'm going to do the shirt and the book pages on the same layer because they're going to be the same, like, off-white cream. That's the thing. In art, or especially in digital art, nothing is ever, like, pure white. Even something that is supposed to be white colored, it will always be, like, a very, very pale blue, a very pale yellow, a very pale cream. It'll never just be like 100% white. No other color involved. Because you need to be able to show shadow on it. And the instant that shadow shows up, the shadow is always going to be a color. And if you do it with just a black color or a black shadow, gray shadow, that looks very muddy and not realistic, I guess. Even though, you know, we're drawing a silly anime boy. Okay. Honestly, this stream has been a mess just for, like, the fucking streaming cut out for I don't even know how long. But I am enjoying how far we've gotten. Although I was hoping that maybe we could finish it. Finish it. I should have known. This means I'll have to finish it on Saturday.
which hopefully won't take too long. So maybe I'll put up another Twitter poll for what I should draw next. Although I did promise Huffshot, so I might do him. But whoever I draw next, I don't. Am I allowed to draw shirtless people on Twitch? Brendan was teasing me that I couldn't, and I'm like, they have hot tub streamers. Surely shirtless elf boys would be fine. Nobody can protest shirtless elf man. I can show you my more dynamic or more like individual color. Not this coloring technique. The one that actually starts with colors and has colors like the whole time. So maybe it's more exciting to look at. Who knows? It's supposed to be round, but also a very kind of flat shape. But also the darkness, the nothing is getting pulled through from the bottom, much to my annoyance. I'm just like, what do I Google? Do I Google, can I draw pinup boys on Twitch? I don't know. You're like allowed to show shirtless dudes like all everywhere. Like I've never seen anybody like that's some PG stuff. I guess it depends on what he's doing. It wouldn't be like super suggestive. Just kind of existing and being sexy. I hope so, because this clothing is just too freaking complicated. Everybody's shirtless from now on. Bikinis. It's beach episode 24/7. Well, it's past 5, but I just want to finish his shirt. Whew, okay. Save. Oh. I'm trying to... Yeah, there we go. I think that's it for today. Oh my god, I forgot to do a zero on the skin layer. Damn it. Well, that's for next time. That's Saturday Megan's problem. Okay, I already did save. We are, I'd say, about 80% done. Maybe 85, although I'm not taking into account the furniture. So, I don't know. But I swear to God, I should be able to wrap this one up on Saturday. So, we'll see how that goes. We'll see. We'll finally see this thing finished. I think I'm going to probably try to find a different streaming application for iPad because uh, this one has pooped itself. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I had a good time. Graha, best boy forever, and I will see you tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday, so I will see you at 3 where I will be playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, so that should be a lot of fun. Okay, bye!